More big news out of the college football world late on Monday. Steve Spurrier, the South Carolina head coach, he's been the coaching star of the last 30 years or so. He's retiring, effective immediately. I'm Brian Clark at CineSport, talking about it with Paul Newberry of the AP. Paul, are you surprised by this?
Maybe a little bit the timing. I don't think I'm surprised that he's retiring. I think everybody was sort of expecting this might be the final season. Obviously, the Gamecocks aren't having a whole lot of success, and recruiting is falling off a little bit. So I think everybody saw the end was near. But maybe Spurrier always can pull one last surprise, and to retire right in the middle of the season, I think is a little caught us all a little off guard.
So, of course, he was best known for his national championship and his run at Florida, but look at what he did in other places, like South Carolina. He's the winningest coach in school history. He had success at Duke. How impressive is the way he's built programs?
Yeah, that was the thing. He'll always be obviously remembered for Florida, the fun and gun offense. But you're right. This is a guy who also won at other places. Won an ACC title at Duke, and to make an impression in the SEC like he did and make South Carolina kind of a powerhouse in the SEC was just another great accomplishment to his career.
And then looking at South Carolina in the midst of some of these other jobs that have opened, USC, of course, opening up earlier in the day on Monday after Steve Sarkisian was fired. When South Carolina looks for its next coach, who's the caliber of coach that they can realistically expect to hire?
I don't think that South Carolina, they sort of got lucky with Spurrier, coming off his kind of failed NFL experiment there in Washington. So, it's still not looked at maybe, as one of those prime jobs in the SEC. I still think, the Alabamas and LSUs and Georgias, it's a tough conference to win in. And again, outside of this Spurrier era, they haven't had a lot of success. So I don't know that they can go out and get a, top of the line candidate. But, now that Spurrier has sort of laid the groundwork, maybe now they can go out and, and do a lot better than they did before he came along.
228 wins, a national championship, and now Steve Spurrier says goodbye. Paul Newberry of the AP. Thanks, Paul.
Hey, thanks a lot.